Hey guys, how's it going? This is Nate. I was cleaning out all my backpacking and outdoor stuff today, and I collected basically all my tools, and I thought it'd be really cool to really quickly go through some of the stuff I always bring out with me in the woods, or just camping, or just for outdoor activities. And I don't have everything here. I'm not gonna. I don't have my tent or my backpacks or a lot of my clothes. This is more just utility purpose kind of stuff, so maybe I can give you a few ideas and you can figure out what you want to use when you go out, because there's tons of fun stuff here. So I'll just probably start over here on the bottom right. First things up, this is just a Garmin Trek, I think it's 20X. I think it's just a regular Garmin. I think I paid $200 for it, but battery powered, so you can always have a power source assuming you bring the batteries, and I bought this little $10 case. It does the job. I program a lot of maps and routes and a lot of waypoints, and besides having a GPS watch, this is really fun to have, and I'm sure you've seen it in some of my videos, but I recommend something like this. And then more of a fallback method, we have White Mountain Guide. This is for New Hampshire obviously, but there's other guides for other parts of the country. And I have a whole bunch of maps, and these maps range everywhere in the Northeast. I won't really go through them, but I really like these Nat Geo ones. Here's an older one, it's kind of ripped up. But yeah, we've got maps here. And then we have a couple of stoves. This is just a cheap, I think it's an Amazon one. I got it for $7-8. And I have my Pocket Rocket 2 right here. And I will link these stuff. I'm not really going to open it up and go through it all, there's plenty of reviews for that, but it's my Pocket Rocket. I think this was around $40-50. Nice little stove. A couple of different headlamps we have here. These are just some cheap $20 Takeda, Ketita ones. They have 3 modes, LED. Don't bring all of these, but these are backups. That's what I used to use, and this is I think it's called a Storm Surge. And this is a really nice headlamp. This has all kind of features, different lights, different colors. How many lumens, but again, I'll link all this stuff so you guys can check it out. This is the one I use now. In this little plastic case, I have just basically some emergency style stuff. Space blanket, nothing out of the ordinary from that. I just move the foam. Let me just put that back real quick. Alright, and then I have some Surelight matches. I used a few of these the other day, which I shouldn't do. Some backup water filtration pills. A little fire starter. There's a whistle in there. There's Bear Grylls Pocket Guide, which we'll get to if you buy a Gerber product endorsed by Bear Grylls. You get a little pocket guide, and then I got a nice Cree little flashlight here. This takes 1 AA. It's backup. I don't really use that, and I'm also banking off of that the battery's not going to be dead in there, so I'll probably check that every season before. I'll probably put a new battery in there and just keep it in there for safekeeping. But that's pretty much it for the plastic GoPro little stickered thing right here. Moving up, let's have some binoculars. And keep in mind, I won't always take all of this stuff. This is just stuff that I have in my collection that I think will be useful if you're into certain things. So if I just take them out of their case real quick, these have some pretty good Nikon Aculons. Nothing special, but a good way to scout, and they do their job. So I pack those. I have a tarp, 10x10 tarp. This is cheap Amazon. Good to have. I just put this in here because this is like more of an emergency backup thing. But here's a little rain cover for my pack. That's nothing new. A fast dry towel, REI brand. This is like $20. Always good to have. Alright, just pushing this stuff out of the way. I have a few different bundles of paracord. As you can see, I have it kind of strung, I think in like 50 foot, maybe 100, it's probably about 50 feet. lengths. And this one has a plastic little coil on it where you can put a little lighter in here, and it's got a razor blade so you can cut it. And this is the main one I use for like my bear bags and tying stuff up. And the cool thing about this cord is it's like ultimate survival cord. It has fish line, tinder, and snare built in, along with like 500 mil spec paracord. So if you need some stuff, you can cut it open and use it. Pretty cool. Silky saw. If you don't have one, I would suggest buying one. It's one I've used a few times. I have bent the, can't tell, but I have bent the blade a little bit, and that's just my fault, not being careful with it. And it's pretty easy to bend. I think you can see a little bit of bend right there. But I still use it. It still works. And this was like 37 bucks. The sharpest, one of these sharpest hand saws. And if you don't know anything about these saws, the teeth all are fixed inward, so you have to you cut twice as fast on the pull, and so you build a little bit of momentum in that. This has some safety gloves. I got these at Home Depot. Really soft. I haven't really used them much yet, but I really like them, and I'll probably pack those for winter time. I like how bright and orange they are. I think that's good. Hold off on those for a second. Just have another cheap axe that I've, to be honest, haven't really used much. Let me just take it out. This axe. Sorry, it's just hard to do this. Okay, we got this axe. It's just a good camp axe. I wouldn't really bring this backpacking, but it's good for camping. And I got that at Home Depot, so that's something I'd bring back in my car, probably leave in the car. And alternatively, I have a couple of other hand hatchets. This is a Bear Grylls survival hatchet. And then I also have a SOG Ultimate hatchet. And I'm not going to open those up because you can just see other videos. Benchmade sharpener. This thing was actually kind of pricey. It was $50, I think. But it has lots of really good features on it. Porcelain sharpeners, rough and fine stone, metal, some leather to polish it, and it has these cool little angles, which you'll notice how they're pretty cut up because I've sharpened so much on this that it definitely chews away, but awesome little angles for good stuff. Made my Schrade survival knife super sharp. And that's basically what I use that sharpener for this blade here. You can see I've used it for lots of batoning, lots of work. Really sharp, really dangerous blade if you're not careful with it. Rubberized grip. Really, if you need one tool, this would be the one to have. And it comes in a nice cool little sheath. And I also have, as you see, like something, I think this is just a poncho, cheap poncho that's in here that I keep. I don't have a fire starter in there or anything. Yeah, it's just a poncho, which has got an interesting combo with the knife, but I guess you can make it out of a shelter, so that works. So that's that. Old school Leatherman. This is my original Leatherman I had, and nothing out of the ordinary from this one, so we could do this one-handed. Yeah, it's definitely heavy, bulky. Got a lot of tools, and this is the Leatherman Super Tool, right? Classic Leatherman. Trying to get that to focus for you guys, but anyways, there it is. So put that aside. This is my newer Leatherman. This is a scale tool. I like this because I can do everything one-handed. Really, I can even pull out, you know, the wrench. Or the pliers, I mean. And we got that. It's got a little screwdriver, bottle cap opener, and you saw the blade. So really this is what I bring on the trail with my saw. Down, let my fire knife, Swedish made blade. It's not full tang, but people have use these to baton wood. Has a little fire steel built in. Awesome knife. This is more a knife. Not my fire. And my girlfriend uses this when she goes. She brings this one. It has a nice hard plastic case, and it does the job. Gotta be careful not to cut myself with all this stuff, but I'm lucky so far. 2 little glow sticks, LED glow sticks. These may be an afterthought, but in case you need to illuminate or get somebody's attention at night, usually keep this off as more of an emergency beacon kind of thing. Tackle, I'm not going to go in with tackle, but you can see there's a lot of trout and small bait fish stuff in here. That's my tackle box. Climbing carabiner. I just use one for my bear bag, but I also, these are very useful if you get a few of them. This one was cool. It came with the little instruction booklet. This is all for this one little carabiner. A bunch of different languages, as you can see, but still I found that pretty interesting. They give you a big booklet. So this was like $10 from the Sierra Outpost store. So I use that for my bear bag. Water filtration. There's a Sawyer Squeeze mini in there. I'm not going to really open up. And I just have a foldable water bottle. Medical kit. I only used a few things out of here, but all in all, this is stock from REI. Always good to have. A couple of fishing rods. These are pretty cheap ones. They're telescopic ones, and I got this one on, I think, eBay, or not eBay, Amazon, and this other one was on Banggood. But quality wise, a lot of carbon and a lot of steel. There's not really any plastic, so they're solid little, except for the lid, solid pieces. And cool. This one's kind of, it's funny how it has little tiny diamonds in it. Some of the stuff's kind of cheap and cheesy, but all in all, the quality of the build. And I also want to say how the light, it gives it like that cool little skin right there in the carbon. And talking a little bit more about the big one, this one's definitely diesel. Really seems pretty strong, but light aluminum. And then you got a nice carbon rod here that extends. And these go obviously with these 2 pieces. I have another 2 reels that were also, I'd say I like the rods more than the reels. The reels do seem a little bit cheaper in terms of mechanics on the inside and the bearings, but the overall materials of these are pretty strong, which is why I bought them. And they were cheap. And how often will I bring this? And as you can see, I just have the line taped up so they won't become unreal. So they're good to go. You just put them on, you get a hook on there, and then you can fish. And they work. I've caught fish with them many times. I guess coming down here, we have just a trench shovel by see if I can get that undone for you guys. So it's tricky. Here we go. So trench shovel right here. Useful little thing. I'll pack that in the winter. If not have a snow shovel. But very useful. And I also have a survival shovel, which I guess this is worth taking this one out of this little sheath thing here. But one's dirtier because I've used it camping a lot. Got a lot of tools, and this handle has a bunch of tools on the inside. This is probably another trunk kind of shovel you can use. And then probably the thing you guys have been noticing the most is this gigantic machete here. This is a saw and machete, and that just used to be a sticker. I have to kind of scrub that off, but this is $16, and I've always wanted to own a machete, and I haven't used it yet, but if I go bushwhacking, this is going to be awesome, and I will love this thing like I love all my little tools. But first impression of this thing, it's not sharp. Machetes I don't think have to be super sharp because you're just kind of chopping through brush, but I think having a sharp blade in general is always better. And so I'll probably put the bench made sharpener to this a little bit. Not the teeth, but the machete side. And the teeth I'll try out one of these days on some wood. Comes with pretty plastic, or not plastic, a nylon sheath that just kind of holds it. It doesn't really grip it too much, but does its job. It gives you a little hoop. And then lastly, we have just some of the cookware stuff. This is an MSR stowaway pot. It's aluminum. Just got this actually, so haven't used it yet, but I'll be using that. It's a little heavier. I think you'll know what this is. Still got something in there. This is a little stainless steel flask. Miniaturized. It's a regular sponge because they get dirty, so I just replace them. And then this collapsible mug that I can carry around for my hot beverages. And then we have a titanium Snow Peak, heavily used. You can see that thing's been through some serious flame. Pot and pan with some gas or some fluids, and then just a spork. It's a titanium. These are both titanium, so they're nice and light. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you kind of enjoyed some of this stuff that I showed you, and if I will be linking all this stuff in the video. This is why I try to really zoom through it. But you know, if you had these tools and you were put into the wilderness, more than likely you'd survive better than somebody else. You have all the tools here to build a shelter, make fire, make hunt, fish, filter, and the one thing you don't have here is warmth or clothes or anything for the bodies. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Talk to you guys later. This is Nate. Bye.